Hi, you're welcome to the Casimir Engine. We've got guests tonight, so behave. It's not ka-ka-ka.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine.
That's me.
Ka-ka-ka. Hasn't that been done to death? Isn't that so 90s?
You think so?
It's the Casimir Engine.
It's the Casimir Engine. It's not ka-ka-ka.
And this is the Brothers Burn. They're from Austin in Texas. The place, not the shop. You're listening to Casimir Engine Show. And we're introducing our major guest next. That's the Brothers Burn. That was Nick Fedora. So we've got a guest sitting with us in the Casimir Engine Show podcast HQ. And it's a bit like, you know her off of ABBA? She ended up living with her stalker. Well, it's a bit... Gary Newman did it as well, I think. And it's a bit like that. I've invited a mega fan to come and experience the recording and to get involved with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the one and only Triple Black Amoeba John.
You are a fantasist. Hello.
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you for
in.
inviting me.
What do you reckon to the setup?
It makes the last time I was at the BBC recording studios look amateurish.
It's all here, though, isn't it? It is all here.
What more could you got a Bernie Clifton poster?
Yeah.
Looks a bit used.
Yeah. So, first of all, I think you've bought gifts.
I have.
What you
because
got?
You kindly made me a cup of tea.
Yeah.
So I bought biscuits to go with it, and because we're bound to talk about a load of 70s rubbish, given our respective ages.
Probably.
What could go better than that?
What's that epic inside? What's that?
I don't like the look of it.
I don't like the look of it.
You probably have to say what it is, because I'm no expert, but we are on the radio, aren't we?
We've got 6 individually wrapped, thankfully, wagon wheels. 70s a go-go, this is.
But not only
fantastic.
that, because I am Triple Black Amoeba, I'm also at the cutting edge of contemporary art.
Yeah.
I bought a modern biscuit.
Okay. most popular.
Yep.
We are. Oh my lord!
Have you seen those?
Hang on a minute. I've got something for you then somewhere.
Are we having a biscuit off?
We're having a Kit Kat off.
A Kit Kat off?
Oh,
you're going to get the weird Japanese...
Yeah, I've got one left somewhere.
Kamikaze pilot flavour.
I think it might be downstairs, and it is about 2 years old, so I don't know. I've got to drag that back over there somewhere. We've got to start that again. Well, thank you for coming in, and thank you for bringing invite, biscuits.
Mate. Yeah. There's other goodies later, depending on how good your questions are.
Okay. Well, we have got some bits and pieces to chat through. First of all, though, we had a complaint.
Oh. Was it from Mrs. Trellis?
Yeah, well, it's our version of Mrs. Trellis, right? This is from the dentist, who will remain nameless other than the dentist. Right, so
Marathon Man, as we call him.
Exactly.
Yes.
So again, he complained about me suggesting that I'd thrown Herbie the studio dog down the stairs.
Right.
It was just a term that I used. I didn't physically throw him down the stairs.
That's a pity.
So, the dentist says the sound quality is particularly poor on the show.
Wow.
So he's saying that my equipment is particularly inadequate, so he's been talking to Mrs. Engine again. But he's listening on his iMacathon Pro 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And through his hi-fi speakers that look like they're the statues.
4K.
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
4K.
Isn't it? Is it 4K?
I don't know
what 4K is.
I don't know what that means.
Is it 4 Kit Kats?
It's better than 3K.
I think there's 5K. I think there's 5K phones.
Why would he be complaining about the physics of the audio quality when there's so much to go at when it comes to the sheer content?
When you've got your fingers in somebody's mouth and you're listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast, you've got your phone balanced on their forehead or something like that. I mean, that's
just the NHS patients.
Apologies to the dentist for the poor sound quality.
Apologies to the rest of you for the content.
What we'll do is we're going to stick another track on.
Good. I like the last one.
It's good, wasn't it?
Sing along a chorus.
I don't think this isn't really up your street, I don't think, but these are my new friends from Tel Aviv.
Wow.
This is Fullbug, and I love it. That's Fullbug. They're from Tel Aviv. That's pretty major stuff. The only thing is, I've got to announce it is bonfire night, and we've got Herbie, the studio bog. Oh my lord, it's all going wrong already. So yeah,
it's not gone off with a bang, has it? Ironically,
no. So yeah, unfortunately, it is. It's bonfire night, and he's not very happy about the fireworks. But,
is he a Catholic?
You can't say things like that on the radio, unfortunately.
But it was a historical bonfire night reference.
I know it was.
I'm trying to be educational.
Oh, great. Well, here we go then.
All right, then.
So, the rules are for tonight is you've got to answer quickly.
Okay.
Right, because we played, we had a belting night out on Friday playing Trivial Pursuit with Triple Black Amoeba John.
We are rock and we are roll.
2 pints, Trivial Pursuit, you won.
I certainly did.
Twice, apparently.
I did.
And, but what you're not allowed to do when we ask you a question now is sit there for ages and then say, bearing straight. Yeah.
Here's the go-to answer for the blue questions.
So,
admittedly, what is the capital of France? It's not a good answer, bearing
where
straight.
Are the Elgin marbles from? G'day, mate. Yeah, g'day.
Australia.
I can't believe that. I'm still Googling it. I am still Googling that, I don't believe it. But
does anyone else still play Trivial Pursuit?
Ask the listeners.
Hey, listeners. Sorry, is that an S on the end?
We got to explain to the guy in the Lebanon and the Ukraine, John's funny, right? Apparently, John is funny, so...
Was that a question?
Yeah.
I answered a bit slow there, didn't I?
So, first of all, you mentioned that you bought the wagon wheels. We're going to be talking about growing up in the 70s and stuff like that, because we are of a similar kind of age group.
Yeah.
So, what car did you have when you were growing up? Where did you grow up?
In Deptford, South East London.
Okay. And what was Deptford like back in
1961.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah, well, it was. Let's say it had character.
Okay. Was it rough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my local football team I grew up with was Millwall.
Okay.
So it was rough.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not got very gentrified. Even
no,
now,
it's that part of London really hasn't, has it?
And on my street, we never had people who had cars, you knew them as the house with the Cortina, because no one had cars.
No one had cars at all?
No, I never had a car growing up.
Well, that was my other question, is what car did you have? But
my first car I had to buy when I was growing up.
Yeah?
Renault 12, automatic.
Not with the
handbrake
that came out of the...
No.
Oh, I thought the handbrake came out of the dash.
I can't remember now.
No.
Most bits came out of the dash eventually. But I don't think by design.
So, you didn't have a car at all, was it? Because, like, your parents
were poor.
Did they work in London or in Deptford?
Yeah, well, we grew up in a railway house. So it was because my dad worked for British Rail.
Oh, yeah.
As a booking clerk.
Yeah.
So I used to spend the summer holidays selling tickets at Lewisham Station.
Cool.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be allowed now.
So, no car, so that's been that question then. That's fantastic.
But our next door neighbour had one of the first Allegros. Do you remember Allegros?
Yeah, Austin Allegro.
It was in standard 1970s beige, with beige interior, and our neighbours were beige.
And they were the first ones in the street.
Oh, yeah, and everyone just was like, wow, they've got an... And do you remember the suspension on an Allegro? It was not airbags. Cause
it's not Top Gear.
No.
What? I can't do the Top Gear music anymore either. So,
can I not be Chris Evans?
I can't remember. I've got to say, I can't remember the Allegro. I know there was... there was the Austin Ambassador. That was like a talking dashboard or something.
The Austin but that was the really posh version of the Princess.
That was
the standard one. The Ambassador. God, you grew up in a really posh part of the world.
And well, no, I like John Shuttleworth, and he has an Austin Ambassador wire edge, doesn't he? So that's probably the only reason I know about it.
That's a good car.
But we used to have loads of cars. When my dad had come home from work with a new car, not a new one, but a different one. Let's say he didn't steal them or anything.
I was going to say, was he a getaway driver?
He wasn't stealing them. But we'd have a Ford Anglia one day, and then the next day he'd come back with... We had a van, and it had a bus seat in the back for us to sit on.
I'm just imagining this is a great trailer for Fast and Furious 97. the doldrum years.
Yeah, the first one. We could do it in black and white, couldn't we? Oh,
it'd be a great prequel, that would.
Well, I tell you what, we've got some more music.
Excellent.
We've got Filthy
Good.
Militia.
I like the first two.
Yeah, we've got Filthy Militia. They're from Sheffield, and this is Be
local.
Real.
Like me, knuckle dragging at 6'3". My thoughts don't add up too much. I'm not known for my subtle touch, but I'll never throw my weight your way. I take my time with what I say. What I was and what I'll always be. It might not come so easily, and I can't say what I think, and I can't say how I feel. Just keep pushing me to the brink, and all I want is to be real. I was the kind you would never learn. You wouldn't piss on me if I burn. My conclusions got the jump on me. My fear, anger, and my bigotry. But that was then and this is now. I hope it doesn't matter anyhow. I can't make up for the things I've done, but I can try one by one. And I can't say what I think, and I can't say how I feel. Just keep pushing me to the brink, and all I want is to be real. Oh no, no, do not as I say. Oh no, no, do not as I do. And how it is and how it will be is up to you. Tons of nothing, it's a smash in the teeth. If you wanna be something, call your way out the gutter to get beaten down again. They call it the price of living. I've done my part to make the world emerge colder, but what is worse is when the anger sticks in the gut of all of us. And I can't say what I think, and I can't say how I feel. Just pushing me to the brink, and all I want is to be real.
Filthy Militia off of Sheffield, and I'm liking that a lot. So we're back with Triple Black Amoeba John.
Hello.
We better explain. Triple Black Amoeba's your band, kind of.
Well, it's not my given name.
Yeah, and Casimir Engine's mine. Yeah. Hey, we better just get the formalities out of the way. If you want to contact the show, don't forget you can contact us on @Casimir Podcast on Twitter. And the same thing, you can use a short code on Facebook. It's @Casimir Podcast on Facebook, or you can search for the show, the Casimir Engine Show podcast in the people, places and things section. So we've had one question where we asked John, what car did you have when you were growing up, John? I didn't have a car. So that's going really well tonight. What about TV? Did you have a television when you were growing up?
Of course we did. In fact, one of the dominant male role models in my life was the TV repairman, because he was around our house more than my dad.
Did you have...
That didn't sound right, did it?
No, it really didn't, no. Did you have a rediffusion when we were really small, we had a
coin
put money in the back. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you?
Of course. Everyone had. Were there any other tellies?
Well, apparently, yeah. Apparently.
We didn't have a Samsung.
Yeah.
OLE 4K.
It was 64 inch, but that was from the front to the back, wasn't it?
And you used to use what was called percussive maintenance to make them work. Whack.
Smacking on the top and the bottom.
Yeah. First TV programme I ever saw in colour when we got a colour telly. So we got a colour telly.
When?
I was still in primary school.
Yeah.
So it must have been I was 10 or 11.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure the first programme I saw in colour was Crystal Tips and Alistair, the cartoon.
Oh, right.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
You look back now and you think that was adults on drugs.
It really was, yeah. It was going up in the lift. Was that the Crystal Tips and Alistair one going up
honestly,
in the lift?
I can't remember who was who.
I think so. I think it was something about going up in the lift in a block of
Crystal
flats.
Meth and Alistair. The new Breaking Bad.
We had a colour telly one Saturday afternoon, and I can remember not just
Did
for
your
the
dad
Saturday
bring it home
afternoon.
in a new car?
Yeah.
I'm getting a picture
Oh,
here,
no,
mate.
I'm using all my bed music. Hang on, let's see if we can drag this back a bit. Let's try again.
Have you thought of getting longer bed?
No,
Sorry,
and well,
I don't want to interfere with.
Normally, people don't talk this much, you see, especially if I'm on my own. I tend to kind of just skip on to the next track. But my dad came back probably in a new car, in a Skoda or something like that. We had a Skoda.
Back when Skodas were Skodas.
Yeah, this was
not
like
Volkswagens.
Yeah, this was Eastern Bloc.
Wow.
Engine.
Run on lard.
I remember to open the filler cap, there was like a piece of string on the inside with like a loop on it, and you pulled this piece of string and it opened the filler cap. But anyway, we're not top gearing anymore. But he came back with this telly, and it was Saturday afternoon, and I can remember the wrestling in colour. And I think that was probably the first thing that I ever saw in colour, other than not everything was black and white before we had a colour telly in real life as well, but it seemed to be at the time.
So 70s wrestlers then. Come on, let's get them out of the way.
Well, yeah.
Giant Haystacks.
No, mine
Big
was
Daddy.
Yeah, Jackie Pallow.
Yeah.
And there was Tally Ho Kane was one of my favourites.
And what was the really brilliant, like Oriental sounding?
Kendo Nagasaki.
Oh,
yeah.
They were good.
We went to see a really good British film. It was made last year, I think it was. We saw it in Chesterfield. But this is really interesting because I can't remember what it was called either. So, Walk Like a Panther. It came to me just
well
like
done.
That.
Very good.
But now we're using all the bed music up again. I'm going to have to switch this on for the third time. But I picked my notes up as well. So were you Magpie or Blue Peter or how?
Oh, all three.
Really?
I loved Hal.
Yeah.
So I loved the old bloke who was actually really intelligent with a beard. He had a beard a bit like you got now.
Yeah. The one who was always talking about Tench every week. Wasn't it? I like the science bloke who was he sat opposite him. He had like black curly hair and glasses. He did all the science.
Yeah. No, I loved Hal.
Yeah.
That was good.
I can't remember it. There was Fred Dinage.
Yes.
Her off of Radio 2, Bunty, whatever her name was.
I can't remember.
And then the other two, I can't remember what they were called either.
But Magpie was good as well.
But then you became a bit of a science fiction geek, a bit like me, didn't you?
Absolutely. All started with original Star Trek, of course,
Yeah.
which I still love now.
Yeah.
I've been watching I watched a bit of the remastered before I came round.
Really?
Yeah, it's
You
on
gotta have
the horror channel.
A bit of Star Trek before you come out of an evening, ain't you? I've started The Next Generation again.
Yeah, I love The Next Generation.
I did Voyager, which is my Star Trek of choice. And I'm watching...
a bit too much holodeck on Voyager for me. It was like, oh, good, the holodeck.
But they all had crap characters, didn't they? Every single one had a crap character. Like Kez and Neelix were always particular, and Wesley Crusher was just the worst, wasn't he?
He's good in Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. I've never watched that.
I've never watched Wow.
And I've never watched Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Oh, you're
But stick with me card.
Okay.
So
bad guest.
Yeah. You're drifting me off. I'm drifting off, and this is going to be on. I'm going to have to start paying PRS on this bed music. But I suppose with Doctor Who there'd be Blake 7.
What have they done to Doctor Who? Have you watched the new ones?
Yeah, I watched last night's. Wasn't
it's
so
a disaster.
Good. I thought it started off quite well, and then it's gone downhill. And I don't mean because there's a woman doctor.
No, she's such a brilliant potential character. The writing is so poor.
Yeah, last night's was terrible.
And it's just badly written. And I don't know, it's both trying to be too right on.
Yeah.
But also there's so much death in it for a kid's
Yeah.
It's like willy-nilly. Yes, I'm not getting it.
I've got to say, Bradley Walsh is particularly good in it.
He's the star.
Yeah.
They should make him the new Doctor. It'd be brilliant.
But I've got to say, last night's episode wasn't so good.
It was weak.
But you went on then to Star Wars.
Remember...
You've got Star Wars Adidas sweatshirt on now.
Of course. Never go far without an item of Star Wars about my person.
And you've done Secret Cinema.
Oh, what a highlight.
Yeah?
Do listeners know about Secret Cinema?
I don't know. Do you want to explain?
So Secret Cinema is what us 21st century people call immersive cinema.
Yeah.
So they basically take over a giant space and recreate, using actors and props, actual scenes and sets from the film. Okay. So I went to the old print works in Wapping, which they turned into part of... I can't remember any of the bits of Star Wars now.
Mos Eisley, was it? Mos Eisley?
Yeah.
I was only guessing.
Well done. And you had the Cantina bar.
Yeah. What, with the band and everything?
No band. But you had stormtroopers going around arresting people.
Yeah.
They recreated the classic lightsaber fight at the end.
And is it realistic?
It's fantastic.
Really?
You really get in the mood.
And everybody's dressed up.
Well, yes, you have to. When you buy a ticket, you're told what your character is and what to wear. So I had to go as a Jedi.
Yeah.
And I said to Ms. Amoeba when we were travelling down, there's no way, once we get to the hotel, I'm going to go out onto the streets just as a Jedi.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, you'll be all right. And I was determined not to do it. I said, we'll get a taxi.
Those fantastic, you'll be all right.
Yeah. So the first thing she did was took me to the pub when we got off the train. Yeah. So that got me a bit more. And then she said, honestly, look, so I got dressed up. I said, look, I can't walk to a tube station dressed as a Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
And she was dressed as like a member of the Republic Council.
So
she just looked like a dentist assistant. So she likes high quality music as well.
Yeah.
But basically, I walked out and she said, no one's going to bat an eyelid. I walked out of the hotel towards the tube station, and within 15 seconds, 3 people weirder than me had walked past me. Nobody cared.
Nobody cares that you're dressed
as you got on the
Jedi.
tube, what was brilliant, as we got nearer and nearer the railway, the venue, there was more people on the tube train just as Star Wars characters than there were commuters. We took over the whole train. It was, if they ever do it again, it was the best ever Star Wars film. Empire Strikes Back.
I think the only thing that they've started doing immersive, like The Showman and La La Land or whatever. And they've done that.
My brother did 28 Days Later, and he said it was one of the scariest, and he's a grown up, and he said he was, let's get the term right, bricking himself. Is that radio friendly?
That's well radio friendly.
Very good.
Radio friendly. But I'm envious of that. I would like to have done 28 Days, I think. That would have been
Empire
great.
Strikes Back was, and at the end you actually watched the film on a massive screen inside a giant warehouse.
Yeah.
And then they reenact with actors under the screen bits of classic scenes whilst it's on the screen. And they did the lightsaber duel at the end, and they were perfectly synchronised with the. It was magical.
Let's just jack in what we're doing now and go and work for Secret Cinema.
Let's do it.
I think that will just be the answer.
See ya. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I've got a new guy who's contacted me called Lemonade Kid.
That's a good name.
I think you're going to like this. This is Say Something by Lemonade Kid.
Go.
You're the reason the light shines in. Sometimes I can see these things. These days you always leave my side. When I'm back I always try to
was Lemonade Kid.
Nice.
With Say Something. I really like that.
Liking the synths.
I really like that a lot.
I do like a nice synth.
We need to come up with, well, there's a couple of things that we haven't done. You can utter those immortal words.
What's on the show, Kaz? Tonight?
No.
Show tonight on what? Rearrange those into a well-known catchphrase and win tonight's star prize.
What an absolute... You had such an opportunity then, and it just crumbled.
So, years from now, I'll look back on that moment and think, what could have been?
I know.
Or been could have what?
Yeah. You did it, in Yoda language, didn't you? So, we missed out on doing that, but seeing as though you're on the show, it was, what's on the show tonight, Kaz? Triple Black Amoeba John. And we need a mixtape quiz, because I've just been showing you, this is actually Jules's mixtape.
This is good.
So, crafted
quality.
by my own fair hands, from the array of vinyl that we have.
It's a nice TDK.
Yeah.
FE Ferric.
So we need a question for this week's mixtape. So, Triple Black Amoeba John, what's the question going to be this week?
It's going to be sci-fi related.
Okay.
And it's from Star Trek.
Yeah.
What is the name of Data's brother?
What is the name of Data's brother?
There we go.
Okay, so answers on a virtual postcard, on Twitter, on Facebook, text me if you know, or send me an email, whatever. We've actually got a new website, and I need to sort out the email address too.
Wow.
I think you can actually email me. I think it's Casimir Engine at googlemail.com.
It's great that we set a question based on sci-fi.
And we're
probably going to have people send in the answer via pigeon.
Send it on a postcard.
Hold on a minute, I can hear flapping outside. Is that the first entry?
Oof.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast.
You certainly are. We're here with Triple Black Amoeba John. Right, the mixtape question is, what is Data's brother's name off of Star Trek?
I wasn't going to give any more than that.
Is it The Next Generation?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Next Generation in it. I don't know. Right, so we're back on the quizzing of Triple Black Amoeba John. Where's Triple Black Amoeba come from then? Explain that to us.
I kind of can't quite remember, but all I remember was when I was setting up I think it was a SoundCloud, or maybe something before SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of what I wanted the band to be called, so I put in the box for the name TBA, as in to be announced.
Right.
And then I had to come up with something
right.
that went with TBA. So Triple Black Amoeba it was.
Nobody can spell him. Well, I can't. No, let's clarify.
Oh, that should have been the quiz.
I cannot spell amoeba.
No, it's Amoeba. That's how you remember it.
Amoeba.
Amoeba.
That would have been a good name.
That would have been a great name for a band.
Name. Right, question. What was... everybody does this, so let's pretend we're on Kiss FM. What was your first record, your first single and LP?
First single was Oliver's Army.
Now, that's a bit late.
I'll tell you why.
For an old man.
My dad, religiously, throughout the whole of the 70s, recorded the top per 20 on a Sunday, editing out the DJ.
Oh, right.
And I've got them at home still, the cassettes. I'll show you next time you're around.
No way.
So I never had to buy any records. My dad was a pirate. He was gangster.
He was from Deptford.
Yeah,
what else can you expect?
Hey, he wasn't stealing cars, mate.
True.
Victimless crime.
Maybe instead of taping, being a music pirate, maybe it should have been a car pirate.
So I never had to buy anything until I got to that age where you just wanted to have your own records and stuff like that. But I loved music I remember not understanding that you couldn't play records again once you'd heard them, because I remember hearing for the first time. Do you remember in the year 2525?
Yes.
Is it Zager and Evans?
I can't remember. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I remember listening, just being transfixed at the radio, and it finished, and me running out to my mum and saying, "Make them play it again." I just wanted DAB radio when I was about 9 or 10.
You say that the first. Well, I was talking. I'd written something down that I wanted to talk about, which was a memory worm, and this was something that you hear something, and then all of a sudden, it's not like an earworm. An earworm's it's some music that you heard recently.
Right.
This is like something that takes you back somewhere.
Right.
And we used to go like everybody else in the Midlands, in the middle of the UK. We used to go on holiday to Skegness or Mablethorpe or Inglemells or something.
We had
like
Margate.
You had Margate, yeah. And for those of you not in the UK, these are kind of lowbrow coastal resorts. I don't
think their respective tourist boards quite describe them as that. They might. Other descriptions are available,
but they are particular. Margate's being done up, isn't it? Margate was supposed to be.
Isn't that the one that Tracy Emin is all?
Tracy Emin and Chaz and Dave before Chaz
Wow.
departed.
Right.
They were involved with.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But yes.
So you went to Margate. Well, we went to.
Canberra Sands was our main.
Okay.
That was
Well, we were in caravans in Inglemells, and
we didn't have a car, so towing the caravan was really hard work.
This was like a static one, so we'd have had an overnight stop on the way to Inglemells in the Ford Anglia, and then eventually when you get there, we'd live in a caravan for a while. But they used to have like an on-site shop, and you'd get sterilised milk, which looked like it was in like a bottle with like you used to have to use a bottle opener to open But I can remember walking over to the shop to get your newspaper and your milk and this kind of thing. And it was Topo, If I Was a Rich Man. And I think that's possibly the earliest memory of music that I've got.
Now, the one that makes me feel uneasy is Windmills of Old Amsterdam.
You can't sing it, I have to pay PRS.
All right.
So I don't think I know that one either. I would have gone,
you do?
Can you hold
it's
it?
The one, I'll say
Not
it.
Tulips from Amsterdam.
No, it's I Saw a Mouse.
Oh, where? They're on the stair.
No, don't, you almost sung it then.
I nearly did,
yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, who sang that? Max Bygraves?
No idea.
I think it was Max. I think it was Max.
I doubt it. That would have been a better question than Data's brother.
Yeah, probably. There you go. If you want another one, another mixtape, who sang I Saw a Mouse
I'm sure
the
the song was called Windmills of Old Amsterdam.
I can't remember.
It's not Tulips from Amsterdam.
Are you sure it wasn't something about a mouse in Amsterdam or something?
No.
You're not sure
the
now,
tune's in my head. No, the tune's in my head, but I can't sing it for legal reasons.
Oh, obviously. so your first single was Oliver's Army. Album?
Never mind the Gentleman's Area Equipment.
Yeah, that was
as
the
I do
first
believe
album.
it was originally going to be called. Yeah, but only because all my mates were buying.
Yeah.
So I was going around and listening.
I thought it might have been
and it was a knocked off. It was
a
knocked off version as well. It wasn't
Cockney Rejects or something. Oh, it's a knocked off version.
I tell you, I used to love the Angelic Upstarts.
Yeah. I'm an upstart. I nearly sang that as well.
They were good.
What comic?
Oh, I loved Commando, the Commando magazines.
Yeah.
And there was Marvel. I was massively into my Marvel comics.
Okay.
So I've still got I'm nerdy. I've got
You
all
really
in their
are.
own little plastic bags.
Oh, my Lord.
It's sad.
I'm on my own here with him.
It's the Avengers was my big thing.
Yeah.
So I was a massive fan of the Vision.
Oh, right, not Purdy and all that kind of... not them Avengers.
I like them for a different reason.
Yeah.
I think they
Gareth
stirred...
Thumb.
No, not Gareth...
What did you say?
I think Purdy might have stirred something in me more than Gareth Hunt.
What about your music newspaper of choice?
I used to buy all three. And I used to go up to the West End because you could get them on a Wednesday.
Okay.
If you went up late Wednesday afternoon, you could get it before...
So what we're talking? Enemy?
Sounds, Enemy and Melody Maker.
Oh, okay.
And before that, Disco 45 for the lyrics, do you remember?
Can't remember that. No, I'm going to have to Google
that. It was basically all the lyrics to popular songs.
Yeah. No, I had... La 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 la, looking. Remember
that's
that?
PRS,
That's
mate.
PRS.
There we go.
I'm stuffed now.
That's
Dave Kid Jensen will be sending me, because he did the adverts for Look In.
I've forgotten all about. Wasn't that a programme?
No, Look In was a magazine, and it was. It used to have the Tomorrow People in it.
Oh, that's Jaunting.
Yeah, all that kind of thing. They were all in
the
there.
Tomorrow People.
Yeah, Tomorrow People. And then in the middle, you'd have like a David Cassidy poster or something like that.
Is that why you used to get it?
Obviously.
You know, I've got an appalling admission to make. Above my
on air,
above my bed, for many years, I had not just stuck on with drawing pins, but I'd used wallpaper paste because we had nothing else. A poster of Gary Glitter. So
maybe
that's not PRS.
No, it's not PRS. I'm just wondering that you wanted to admit that in front of 10 people.
Let's say 8.
You're right. When did you start getting weird? When did you start getting into kind of weird music and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't even quite know why that. I went to university for a year, and it really happened just before and during that. I really got into experimental music. I only lasted a year at uni. I got chucked out.
Okay, fair. Was that because your Gary Glitter picture?
No. It's because I was trying to explain to the stupid philosophy students, because I was doing a really hard science degree, biochemistry and toxicology.
Oh, right.
And they were all doing like, is it real if I can't see it? And so I said, look, you lads. So I tried to teach them a bit of physics, and it was about highly combustible, finely divided powders. Do you know grain mills explode? Yeah. You know, flour mills.
Yeah, flour mills, yeah.
And it's because the flour, all the little particles have got so much surface area. Right. That flame rips through them. So to explain this, I started a tiny little fire in a waste paper bin. Yeah. Stood on a chair. Do you remember 5 pints? Do you remember the powdered? It was powdered milk.
Like Marvel.
I couldn't understand. It was the same size as a milk.
5 pints in it.
It was 5 pints in a pint size.
And you were doing like chemistry.
And I stood on a thing and I sprinkled. I sprinkled it on there, and the fire was bigger than expected. It was one of those, you know, where the flames go up like in films, and they go across the ceiling and then travel down the walls. It was a bit like one of those moments.
Well, all of a sudden I'm wanting to go, how? At the end of that, because that would have been perfect, wouldn't it? That would have been a perfect experiment for them.
But yeah, so I got into experimental music then. So Nursery Wound were big, my all-time favourite experimental band.
And then Joy Division?
Yeah, not so much experimental, but they great love and Public Image
But
it was that kind of like late 70s, early 80s new wave. I liked punk, but it never really, it never gripped me as much as new wave. So all that very late 78, 79, 80, is my peak. If you look at my record collection and my cassettes and all that kind of stuff.
I've got most of your CDs up
You've
there.
Got most of them,
You chucked them out. I went down to Oxfam and bought them and didn't know they were yours.
Not that stuff.
But you had a close call with Factory Records.
I did. Me and a mate tried to, we were writing short stories, and we tried to get Factory Records to publish them as if they were records, because we thought that would be really cool. Yeah. Because people weren't buying books. So we sent off this collection of short stories to Tony Wilson at Factory Records, and I'm at home, lived with some mates, and one of my mates came in and said, Tony Wilson's on the phone for you. And I'm like, yeah, great. And just carried on. And you know when you look at someone and you know they look as shocked because they're not having a pee take. So I went and picked up the phone, and it was I think it wasn't a Tony Festival. It was not Alan Erasmus. It was Rob Gretton, the great Rob Gretton. Yeah. When I can't do a Manchester accent, I can barely do a South East London accent. That's where I was brought up. But he said, hi there, John, I've got Tony Wilson for you. And he came on and basically he just said, hello, John. Yeah, very interesting. He said, have you got a publishing deal? And I went, no. I said, and he went, oh, right, that's a pity. He said, we're getting into something called video.
No way.
Yeah, and he said, we're going to spend all our money on that, so we're not really going to do books, but thanks for thinking of us. And that was it. That was my brush with Tony Wilson.
So close.
So I was just... VHS destroyed my potential career as an author.
Yeah, and where's that now?
Yeah,
exactly.
I've lasted longer than VHS.
You could have been in the British Library.
I saw a great VHS in town today.
Yeah.
No, yesterday in the charity shop.
Yeah.
And it's called. It was a VHS tape, and it's called The Occasional Salmon.
The Occasional Salmon. I'm hoping you bought it.
I mean, what?
It would have been worth going out and getting a video player. Just
salmon. What? I was thinking, is it something like, is it a tench or a chub that dresses up every now and then? What is The Occasional Salmon? Great name. Great name for a band.
Yeah. I think I've just pulled my headphones out. I was getting a bit cabled. Right, we need some more music.
Let's have
we got
enough of this nonsense.
A new release by Matlock. Matlock's 3 Second Fuse.
Wow.
These are the guys who organise and arrange the East Matlock Bath Music Festival.
Brilliant.
And this is a new single called Walking Sam. It's only just been released. I think it's available on YouTube and on Spotify. And it's a bit heavy.
Great.
Walk
That's Walking Sam by 3 Second Fuse. It's out now, and you can get it on all major music providers online.
Love those guitars.
Cool, eh?
I love those guitars.
Yeah. Oh no, Big Finish. Right, so we got. Can I just say we've just eaten or etted a wagon wheel.
Oh,
not good, eh?
It's sweet cardboard.
It wasn't good,
which is another great name for a band.
Anyone
forming a band
performing
out there?
At the fish pond on Thursday.
Occasional salmon supported by sweet cardboard. I'd go to that.
But we also had a lemon drizzle Kit Kat.
We really have.
Oh dear.
We've travelled the universe of biscuits.
Lemon drizzle Kit Kat. They're on at the fish pond as well. But that wasn't good, was it?
The wagon wheel was poor.
Yeah, and
the Kit Kat was medicinal. I think we decided
it tasted like you'd left a Kit Kat next to the washing up liquid in the shopping. It just like the lemon flavour like transferred itself over. John, Triple Black Amoeba John was upset because he's not been asked the major question.
I know.
TBA J.
Yeah.
What's your favourite colour of jelly?
Well, I brought it along to show you. It is, of course, orange.
Bang.
Orange.
Yeah.
But has to have the obligatory
Mandarin segments.
Tin of Mandarin segments. That was standard pudding when I was growing up.
Really?
Orange
There's
jelly.
Not a tin of Evap in there.
If we were feeling flush.
I've got a tin of Evap downstairs.
Hey, I'd rather do this
we
than
could have done a cookery programme.
Do you remember that Ready Steady Cook? Right, what can you do? A tin of mandarins, jelly, a wagon wheel, and some lemon drizzle Kit Kats.
You could be Matlock's Ainsley Harriet, didn't you? So you're the only one, I think, you're the only person who's ever bought any in.
Well, there you go.
You're the first one to vote orange.
Wow.
So I'm going to have to update my graph. I have got a graph for this. One question that I'd got, or one discussion topic. We spend a lot of time working away.
Too much.
In hotels. When did you first start staying away in hotels? How long ago was it?
In the early 90s.
Yeah.
That's
about the same as me. Yeah.
And then, because I was lowly paid,
they
used to put us in what I call brown hotels.
Okay.
And a definition of a brown hotel is when you walk in the bedroom, the more lights you turn on, the darker it gets.
Okay.
You know those. Yeah. And everything is a shade of tobacco brown.
Yeah.
Hate them.
They're not
anymore, though. I've upped it now. I'm a Premier Inn man.
Premier Inn man. I always remember when I first started staying away, we used to have to share rooms.
Wow.
Not with like complete strangers or anything, but there'd be two of us would travel doing the job that I did. A top secret day job.
Yes.
And there'd be two of us, and we'd travel away, and we'd sort of do this training type thing. But we used to have to share rooms at night.
Gosh.
And then I faked having what was called night terrors, so that I didn't have to share a room with this guy any longer. So I was the only one in the place of work that got his own room when he stayed away.
And of course, ironically, being in a bedroom with you at night would have been a night terror.
Thank you very much, sir. But my worst hotel ever was in Battle, which is in
outside of Hastings.
Sussex. Is
well,
it Sussex?
It's where the Battle of Hastings took place. Yeah.
Sorry,
that was a little bit of historical context.
Exactly.
Is that all right? Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Because people died in that as well.
No, I walked into this hotel room and there was a handwritten A4 stuck on above the bed, because I always used to have like a velour kind of headboard, and
lovely.
above the bed in marker pen it said, "Do not eat Chinese meals in the bed." Now, I'm thinking, if there was an Indian restaurant around the corner, you'd be okay, wouldn't you? You just go round there,
fine.
chicken jalfrezi and ham bread straight in bed, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
problem. But yeah, apparently you can't eat, you couldn't eat from the Chinese takeaway around the corner. You couldn't eat the meals in bed, which apparently must be a thing in battle.
I tell you what I hate now, I'm getting less tolerant of hotel rooms now.
Really?
Is noisy air conditioning.
Yeah.
I can't be doing with it at night.
Yeah.
So if I ever get stopped on my bag search, I'm going to be in trouble, because I always make sure I've got a coat hanger and some masking tape.
Oh right, that's
so
nice.
I'm going to be in big trouble if I ever get.
Yeah,
it's
stopped
so
in
that
the
I can stuff the vent to stop it making a noise.
Oh,
and
right.
before you say, why don't you just turn it off?
Yeah.
It's when it's turned off, because it's got a connection to all the other. Even when it's turned off, it makes a terrible noise. I hate it.
You really have got issues with that one, haven't you? Crikey. You turning up at a hotel with some gaffer tape and a coat hanger.
My standard text to Ms. Amoeba is currently on my 4th room.
The one thing that does me at the moment is the swap of a bar of soap for squirty shower gel and stuff like that. I don't like that. That's a modern thing.
Yeah.
You know where you used to be able
bending over to pick the soap up then?
I'm okay with that, but what I used to like is going into the bathroom and then just in December scooping everything off the bathroom counter. That's Christmas sorted for Mrs. Engine. There was a nice new shower cap, bar of soap and some shampoo and conditioner and sewing kit. So,
has anyone ever used a sewing kit in a hotel room?
Says the man who takes gaffer tape and a coat hanger. You probably have, haven't you?
I did actually have a man just not that long ago in a hotel room in Saudi Arabia, stitching a hanky into my blazer pocket.
Really?
Yes.
Why did you need that?
It's a long story.
It's a long story.
We'll have to do that in the next unlikely ever to be repeated episode of this.
Well, we got another tune. We've got this is now.
Good.
I'm not sure whether this is IX
right
or 11.
No, that'd be 9, wouldn't it?
IX, is that not X? Oh no. Yeah, no. X plus 1 is 11. So it's either 9 or IX or X. I don't know. They're from. I'll tell you where they're from.
Is it the same place as the Elgin Marbles?
You don't even think about that. They're from Chelmsford, so we could get somebody to go around the corner and just ask them, couldn't we? I think, is your lad down there?
No, not anymore.
Oh, I thought he was down there. He could have popped round. But this is called Mechta and Luna 1. Nice. I think you're going to like this. But it's very difficult to say the band name and the name of the track.
Lemon Drizzle Kit Kat, that's their future.
Let's have one. You've been listening to 1X or X9 or X with Mechta. You've been listening to Casimir Engine Show podcast with Triple Black Amoeba John.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Apparently that's a thing in radio. So thank you very much for bringing all your goodies, oranges, tinned orange jelly, wagon wheels, lemon drizzle Kit Kats. It's been a pleasure.
Sparkling wit.
A sparkling wit, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. Thank you to everybody who sent in music. Thank you to all the... We haven't been able to play everybody. But we'll be having same again next week.
By not playing everybody, you include me in that, don't you?
Yeah,
thanks.
Triple Black Amoeba John bought his own record to play. I've never had that happen before.
The only reason I came.
I have never, ever had that before. That speaks volumes.
What a waste of time. What a waste of an evening.
You can have it back if you want. You've been listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast. Oh, that was still playing in the background, nice. Yeah. So, been listening to Casimir Engine Show podcast. Don't forget you can catch up with us on Twitter at Casimir Podcast and on Facebook at Casimir Podcast, or search for the Casimir Engine Show podcast in the people, places and things. And if you go on to that there Google thing or your search engine of choice, you can get it on YouTube and all that, but if most people are listening to this, so they don't need to know, I was doing that for ages. I was saying, if you want to listen to the show, but they must have been listening to the show anyway, so it seemed a bit pointless in the end. But you can find our new, spanking new, I think it's the Casimir Engine Show .wordpress.com. I really should remember that, but I ain't got it written down on my bit of card on the... You've seen all this now in real life, haven't you? Thank you very much, Triple Black Amoeba John.
Thank you very much. Good fun.
It's been brilliant. Right, we're back next week, and thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great week, and I'll see you as soon as possible. Thank you very much, Triple Black Amoeba John.
The Casimir Engine, reliably mediocre.